You can make beautiful macarons without fancy baking equipment, and today I'm going to show you how. You will need a kitchen scale in order to measure your ingredients accurately. This part is still really necessary for successful macarons. Separate your egg whites and let them come up to room temperature. I'm using 2 egg whites, which weigh a total of 67 grams. Weigh out an equal amount of granulated sugar. In this case, that's 67 grams. I normally use egg white powder, but today I'm trying meringue powder, which has egg white powder in it. I'm going to use 3 grams of that. This part is optional and you can leave it out if you don't have it. Multiply the egg white weight of 67 grams by 1.2 and we get 80 grams. That is the amount of almond flour and powdered sugar that we're going to use. Sift those 2 dry ingredients into a bowl and whisk them together. If you don't have a silicone baking mat with the round circles already on it, you can use parchment paper. You can print out a macaron template online. This one is from Pies and Tacos, and it's the 1 3/4 inch template. If you don't have a printer, find an object that is the size that you want to pipe your macarons, and you can trace circles on the underside of your parchment paper or onto another piece of paper that you might want to reuse. I'm trimming the edge of the template where the 2 halves will meet in the middle, and then I'm also going to round the corners, and that will make sense in just a second. Place your template on your baking tray and put your parchment paper on top of it. Instead of using a stand mixer, I'm going to use my electric hand mixer. I guess you could whisk your eggs to stiff peaks by hand, but I will never do that. I'm mixing them on a low speed, and once I start to see frothy bubbles, I'm gonna slowly start adding in my granulated sugar. I'm adding a spoon of sugar every 10 seconds or so, but you can add in half of the sugar, mix for a few minutes, and then add in the rest of the sugar. Gradually increase the speed of your mixer about every 3 minutes until you get to a medium-high speed. Continue mixing until you get stiff peaks. Add in half of your dry ingredients and gently fold them into your meringue. When your batter looks like this, add in the rest of your dry ingredients and repeat that process. When all of the dry ingredients have been incorporated, start to deflate the batter by pressing the spatula against the inside of the bowl. Keep folding the batter in between deflating it to make sure that you are doing this process evenly. When the batter flows off the spatula in ribbons like this, that means it's ready. Instead of using a piping bag, I'm using a Ziploc bag. I'm still going to use my number 12 piping tip, but if you don't have this, you can just cut the corner of the bag. It will be a little more difficult to pipe your macarons into nice circles, but it will still work. Pipe a small amount of batter on the corner of your tray and press the parchment paper down to help glue it in place. Hold the piping tip vertically in the center of the circle and squeeze the bag until enough batter has come out to reach the edges of the circle. Gently release the pressure on the bag and give the piping tip a little swirl when you lift it up. Carefully remove the template. You can use it again next time. I'm gluing down the other edge of my parchment paper before tapping the tray to break up air bubbles. Use a toothpick or a scribe tool to pop the air bubbles that you see on the surface. Let them rest until you can touch the top of a macaron without any of the batter sticking to your finger. For me, this takes 15 minutes, but it can take over an hour if you live in a humid climate. Bake them at 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 degrees Celsius for 18 to 20 minutes. Let them cool completely before removing them from the baking tray. And that's how you make macarons without fancy baking equipment. Check out my page for more tutorials.